Hey everyone, welcome back to Stone's Hill Homestead. If you're new here, I am Kim, and today is my second recipe of a book and a recipe. I am taking this recipe from the same book that I took the last video from. It's the same book. It is Sweet Expectations, a Union Street Bakery novel by Mary Ellen Taylor. And last week I did the pumpkin bread and it was so spectacular. It was the first time I've ever tried the recipe. Same with this one. It was so wonderful. I have had such rave reviews about it that I thought I'm going to try the other recipe in that book. So today we're going to start with a stick of butter. So that'd be 8 tablespoons or a half a cup. We need 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Get that measured up. And as most of you know, if you don't have brown sugar, you can easily make it with your regular sugar and blackstrap, or not blackstrap, but molasses. Blackstrap molasses is what I use. So there's 1 cup of brown sugar, and that is a packed cup. And 1 egg. And I need to cream together the butter, brown sugar first, and then add the 1 egg. And that is a timer, and I need to get that out of the oven. That is a loaf of bread that I made. So let me quickly grab that. Butter wasn't quite melted enough. So I'll switch over to this spatula here, this rubber scraper, and cream those together like that. Save that whisk for when I need to whisk in the egg. Let me grab this loaf of bread. Just gonna and here's the loaf of bread I'm pulling out of the oven. I'm just gonna set that here to cool for a second. Making a mess here today, although I am a messy baker, so. And we're going to add 1 egg. And the next thing we will be adding here is the maple syrup. And this recipe is called, the actual title is Jenna's Maple Cookies. Add maple syrup. And this recipe also calls for rum extract. I do not have rum extract. I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make, but I do have rum flavor. Probably should have rum extract, but it is a half a teaspoon, and I am going to add a half a teaspoon of this rum flavoring. whisk that together as well. The next part that I need to do is the flour, and I need to sift that together. Get my sifter out. There we go. Grab another bowl here. And I need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour. And y'all know I get all of my stuff from Azure Standard. And as always, my link is at down in the description if you'd like to try Azure Standard. I don't make any commission. However, if you use my link, I do get $25 if your first order is over $100. And they deliver all over the country to you. You do have to pay a small shipping fee to our area, but it's well worth it, and it's still a better price than what you could get at the store for organic, high quality items, baking items, food items, whatever you so choose. Okay, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. So that was 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. I use Rumford, it's aluminum free. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon. Just sift those together. I have my vintage sifter here. I always like to show that. It was my grandma. Actually, it was my son's grandmother's, so I'm on the other side of the family. So there I have those 2 things. Now I'm going to mix these together. Now, the one thing I need to say is it does say that walnuts are optional at this point. Once you get the batter all made, you'll fold in walnuts. Me or my family, none of us like any kind of nuts in baked goods or foods. We love nuts to eat by themselves, but not fond of having them in our baked goods. So I'm gonna mix this into this bowl. We're gonna combine these. Mix this together. This will need to refrigerate now. Once I get this all mixed together, it will need to be in the refrigerator for 30 minutes. I just love these recipes that come out of books that I've read. They're all fictional books mostly that I read. I am a fictional reader, Christian fiction or murder mysteries. I do like those. And I enjoy reading all of these different books. When I can get a book that has a recipe and it's taking place in a bakery, I just love to try the recipes. So I hope you give this recipe a try as well. Like I did that pumpkin bread, that was just absolutely phenomenal. So this dough is all mixed up now. I'm gonna stick this in the fridge, let it chill for about 30 minutes, and then I will bring you back and we will get these on a cookie sheet, a baking sheet, and we will bake them at 350 degrees for 10 to 12 minutes. And so now we are back and we are getting these cookies ready. It doesn't say to drop them. It doesn't say a whole lot, but the dough is quite easy to work with. So I'm just gonna roll them up here and let them spread out. And I'm guessing you could probably drop them just like normal with a cookie scoop. And since I've never made these, I'm not really sure what to do. It doesn't say on the recipe on what to do. So we're just gonna do it this way. We're gonna go with this and see what we can come up with. And like I said, the dough is easy to work with. It was really a wet dough, but once it's in the fridge and it thickens up a bit, it's quite easy to work with. Now, as I work with it, I see that it is starting to get stickier, but I don't know how much these cookies spread out. I don't even know how many cookies this recipe makes. It does not say. So we'll just go with this. I have a lot of noise in the background. I've got 2 kitties that are running around and playing. And one went to the vet today, so she is running off her energy, I believe. They have to sedate her. I have to sedate her to put her in the car. She gets very sick when we travel. So I think the sedation on her is wearing off a bit. So I am going to get these in the oven and put the dough back in the fridge so it stays cold. And then I will come back after these are done. I just wonder if I've put these too close together. A little bit too big. And there we go. We have 16 cookies here. I'll get these in the oven. Let's see what they do. And there you go. And there they are out of the oven. I ended up going closer to 14 to 15 minutes on these cookies. My oven has a mind of its own most of the time. So the time on the recipe doesn't always work the best. So I always have to really pay attention. And with these, it looks like we're gonna have to pay attention. They do spread out. And I always use parchment paper. Makes cleanup so simple. I'm going to put these on a rack for drying or for cooling. I'm just gonna set these over here. They smell absolutely delicious, and we will be trying them here shortly. And I want to thank each and every one of you for joining. For all the new subscribers, my goal is to have 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. I believe today I was at 925. So I want to thank all of you for sharing on your own social medias. I appreciate that more than you know. And we're going to go ahead and try this cookie here. It is a little bit warm yet, probably too soon to try it, but I like warm cookies. And here you see the cookie. It's a thin cookie, and as I bend it, you can see it's kind of sticky, maybe, if you will. And oh, it tastes so good. It has a little bit of a chew to it. It's not a hard cookie. It is a soft cookie with a little bit of almost like a toffee type flavor of a chew as you're chewing the cookie. It is really quite delicious. Like I said, this is the second recipe from the same book, and these recipes have really been quite flavorful. And I just want to thank each and every one of you for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you. And the recipe ended up making 24 cookies, as you see, and that loaf of bread there to the left that I made previously. Thank you again. And as always, be blessed and laugh as much as you breathe, and check out the book, Sweet Expectations.